Hello everyone, welcome to Dentistionary. We are back in human physiology with our new topic. The topic for today is countercurrent mechanism and micturition, where we are going to discuss the importance of countercurrent mechanism, which is the most asked question in our profs from the unit excretion. And in micturition, we will learn the micturition reflex. So let's begin. Countercurrent mechanism. Firstly, let us understand what is countercurrent system. It is a system of a U-shaped structure in which the flow of fluid is in opposite direction in two limbs of the U-shaped tubules, that is in Henle's loop. That is in the descending loop and ascending loop, the flow of fluid is in opposite direction. Coming on to its two divisions, we have the countercurrent multiplier and countercurrent exchanger. Firstly, the countercurrent multiplier. In countercurrent multiplier, Henle's loop plays a major role. Let me show you the diagram. Yes. So the loop of Henle function as the countercurrent multiplier. It is responsible for development of the hyperosmolarity of the medullary interstitial fluid and the medullary gradient. From here we go. Next, we have the role of loop of Henle in development of medullary gradient. What is that? The loop of Henle of the juxtamedullary nephron plays a major role, as I already said you. The main reason for hyperosmolarity of the medullary interstitial fluid is the active absorption of the sodium chloride ions and other solutes from the ascending loop of Henle into the medullary interstitium. From the ascending loop of Henle, the absorption or the transport of the sodium chloride ions into the interstitial fluid is involved in this process. Now, due to the concentration gradient, the sodium and the chloride ions diffuse from the medullary interstitium into the descending limb of Henle's. मतलब क्या हो रहा है? अगर हम देखें, from this ascending part, the sodium chloride ions move to the interstitial fluid, and from this, due to the concentration gradient, what is concentration gradient? From the region of higher concentration to lower concentration, right? तो higher concentration अभी कहाँ है? अभी है interstitial fluid में. So it will try to move from higher concentration to lower concentration. That means from the interstitial fluid to the descending loop of Henle. Is this clear? Next, thus the sodium and the chloride ions are repeatedly circulated between the descending limb and the ascending limb to the medullary interstitial fluid. So क्या होता है देखो, ये बहुत ही सिंपल सा टॉपिक है बट बच्चों को मोस्टली कॉम्प्लिकेटेड क्यों लगता है? बिकॉज ऑफ द डायग्राम. सो अगर हम डायग्राम क्लियर कर लेंगे सो इट विल बी वेरी मच इजियर फॉर अस टू अंडरस्टैंड. क्या होता है? This is the descending loop and this is the ascending loop, right? Whatever we come to the descending loop will move to the ascending loop. Now, in countercurrent multiplier, the sodium chloride ions from ascending loop will diffuse out to the interstitial fluid. Now, this is the interstitial fluid. Interstitial fluid, or you can see the interstitium. Correct? अब क्या होता है? Now, after moving into the interstitium, due to the concentration gradient, these sodium chloride ions will move from the interstitium to the descending loop of Henle, right? This repetition will be continued, and from the descending loop of Henle, water goes to descending loop of Henle will move to the ascending loop of Henle, as I already said. So, Ascending loop of Henle से वो interstitial fluid में जाएगा, interstitial fluid से वो descending loop of Henle, and from there the repetition continues. This is called the countercurrent multiplier. And apart from this, there is also regular addition of more and more new sodium and chloride ions into the descending loop by constant filtration. Obviously, आसपास में जितने ions हैं वो भी तो इसमें जाएगी, तो that means the constant addition of the ions. So hence called the countercurrent multiplier. Clear? Hope so it is clear. If there will be any doubt, you can ask in our comment section. We'll try to repeat this topic again. Next, we have the countercurrent exchanger, where vasa recta plays the major role. I already said what is vasa recta. It is present in the juxtaglomerular nephrons and obviously absent in the cortical nephron. So we are discussing about the juxtaglomerular nephron, or I guess the juxtamedullary nephron. Sorry. What is vasa recta? Vasa recta performs as the countercurrent exchanger. It is similar to the countercurrent multiplier, but just the reversal of it. That's it. So what is it? It is responsible for maintaining the medullary gradient, which is developed by the countercurrent multiplier. जो countercurrent multiplier medullary gradient बनाता है, उसको maintain करने के लिए countercurrent exchanger है. Clear? मैंने यहाँ ज्यादा डिटेलिंग में इसको डिस्कस नहीं किया है. Why? Just because it is similar to the countercurrent multiplier. Clear? Next, coming on to its applied physiology, which is asked as your short note. और अगर काउंटरकरंट मैकेनिज्म पे लॉन्ग नोट आएगा तो ऑब्वियसली आप सब अप्लाइड फिजियोलॉजी को जरूर इंक्लूड करोगे अपने आंसर पे, वरना अलग से पॉलीयूरिया ऑस्मोटिक डायूरेसिस पे शॉर्ट नोट आते ही है क्वेश्चन. सो व्हाट इज ऑस्मोटिक डायूरेसिस? Diuresis simply means the excretion of the large quantity of urine. Osmotic diuresis is the diuresis which is induced by the osmotic effects. Hope so what is osmosis and osmotic effect? It is clear to you guys. So osmotic effect of whom? Of the solutes like the glucose. It is most common in diabetes mellitus patients. Diabetes mellitus जिसको होती है, osmotic diuresis is mostly common and found in those patients. Next, what is polyuria? Polyuria is increased urination. Diuresis क्या था? Large amount of urine excrete होता है, and polyuria है frequency of urination. Number of urination will be increased. Frequency of urination will be increased. In this disorder, the renal tube will fail to reabsorb water because of the ADH deficiency. What is ADH? It is the antidiuretic hormone which helps in reabsorption of water in our body. अगर ADH की deficiency होगी तो water reabsorb नहीं होगा, urine formation ज्यादा होगा, and frequency of urination will be more. Next topic for today is micturition. What is micturition? It is a very basic topic we have already learned in our junior classes, in our school days. So what is micturition? It is a process by which urine is voided from the urinary bladder. Sorry, there is a mistake. It will be urinary bladder. It is a reflex process. However, in grown-up children and adults, it can be controlled voluntarily. Means in grown-up children and adults, it is voluntary, whereas in infants, it is mostly involuntary. Clear? Next, coming on to the nocturnal micturition. The nocturnal micturition is the involuntary process, mostly during night. That is why it's called nocturnal. It is otherwise known as enuresis or bedwetting. It is mostly common in infants and children below 3 years of age. That's why it is involuntary. Next, coming on to the micturition reflex. You guys can follow this chart as well as the chart given in your books like Semolingam and Akejan. I guess that chart will be more helpful to you guys. I have not included that in my slide. That chart includes the proper diagrammatic view of how micturition reflex occurs. Firstly, there will be filling of urinary bladder, which will lead to the stimulation of the stretch receptors present in the bladder. After that, The afferent impulses will pass by the pelvic nerve, and the efferent impulses will pass by another pelvic nerve, which leads to the contraction of the detrusor muscles and relaxation of the internal sphincter. This will lead to the flow of blood into the urethra, causing the stimulation of the stretch receptors present further. This will lead to the relaxation of the external sphincter, causing to the release of urine. In this way, the entire micturition takes place. Please note that chart in your notebooks. It will be helpful for you guys because in micturition reflex, short note is frequently asked in your terminals. Thank you so much. That's it for today. Here's the end of the unit, extrusion. Keep learning and keep supporting our channel, Dentistionary. Thank you.